What if the biological imperative that brands you as property is actually the only language capable of articulating a desire you've been taught to despise? And true sovereignty isn't found in rejecting the bond, but in rewriting its terms from within the claiming itself. In Claimed by the Wolf King, Delta James delivers a dark Omegaverse romance that transforms biological determinism into a profound exploration of consent as negotiation, proving that in worlds where fate is written in scent and instinct, agency is not the absence of biology, but the conscious navigation of it. This isn't merely another alpha-omega tale with heat cycles and mating bites. It's a psychologically precise narrative where every pheromonal pull feels like both summons and question. Intimacy requires unlearning shame before embracing pleasure, and love means choosing connection when every system demands compliance. From the first musk-laced narration, listeners are immersed in a landscape where dominance is dialogue and surrender is strategy. Perfect for fans of emotionally complex dark paranormal romance and stories where female power thrives within hierarchical frameworks, this audiobook serves up atmospheric intensity, relentless emotional honesty, and a protagonist whose journey from resistant Omega to sovereign mate resonates with anyone who's ever been told their body belongs to someone else. When scholar Ilara Vance is forcibly presented to Alpha King Kalen Thorne during the Blood Moon Convergence, she expects domination. Not to discover his claim recognizes her intellectual defiance as its own form of compatibility. But as Ilara navigates pack politics and the overwhelming tide of biological bonding, she realizes this union isn't about possession, it's about translation. James masterfully avoids reducing Ilara to reluctant mate or Kalen to tyrannical alpha. Instead, she crafts a relationship rooted in radical reciprocity within constraint, where consent is an ongoing conversation rather than a singular event, and where intimacy emerges from honoring resistance as sacred ground. The audiobook narration amplifies this emotional alchemy, capturing Ilara's disciplined intellect softening into embodied clarity, while Kalen's commanding presence reveals depths beneath primal authority. You don't just hear the bond deepen, you feel the seismic shift of two souls learning that true claiming requires mutual recognition, not just biological alignment. What elevates Claimed by the Wolf King beyond typical dark Omegaverse fare is its nuanced portrayal of biological imperatives as collaborative language rather than absolute law. Ilara isn't merely submitting to fate, she's confronting how societal conditioning taught her to equate worth with resistance, challenging the notion that autonomy requires rejection. Kalen doesn't own her through biology. He creates space where her mind can lead even as her body responds, honoring her boundaries within the bond's architecture. Their relationship evolves through acts of radical reciprocity, sharing silences during heat cycles that bypass performance, establishing nonverbal cues that protect both physical and emotional integrity, and defending each other from pack traditionalists who mistake evolution for betrayal. Supporting characters add vital texture: beta wolves whose loyalty masks curiosity, elder omegas whose wisdom carries both warning and grace, even the bond itself, rendered as living archive whose pulses hold memories of women who were never allowed to choose. Every interaction reinforces the novel's core truth. In systems built on destiny, choice is insurgency, and presence is the only true alpha trait. Even the Omegaverse mechanics serve thematic depth, with scent marking mirroring emotional attunement, and nesting becoming metaphor for earned safety. For audiobook listeners, this production is an immersive sensory descent into primal intimacy. The narrator embodies Ilara and Kalen with remarkable distinction. Ilara's voice carries brittle resilience laced with dawning trust, while Kalen's low timbre trembles with suppressed tenderness beneath disciplined command, making their chemistry palpable even in stillness. Sound design enhances atmosphere without overwhelming immersion. Distant howls marking pack rhythm, rain against den walls during vulnerable confessions, the hushed rustle of fur syncing with breath during moments of connection, all anchor mythic stakes in tangible reality. Pacing mirrors the cadence of biological and emotional integration, deliberate during bonding rituals and reflection, then surging with urgency as external threats collide with internal awakenings. Whether you're commuting through urban chaos or unwinding in twilight solitude, the audiobook creates a portable sanctuary where slowness feels sacred and presence feels lifeline. Its storytelling as embodied validation, transforming passive listening into active participation in a love story that honors both instinct and intention. Ultimately, Claimed by the Wolf King redefines dark Omegaverse romance by centering female epistemology within biological frameworks. It satisfies genre cravings for intense chemistry and fated mates, while delivering substantive commentary on bodily autonomy, masculine vulnerability, and the radical act of building partnerships based on mutual recognition rather than destiny. No prior series knowledge is needed. It stands confidently as a complete emotional odyssey. If you've ever wondered whether freedom can coexist with biology, or if true strength requires embracing what others fear. This audiobook will affirm that sometimes the most powerful act is choosing to be claimed on your own terms. Press play, breathe into the bond, and prepare to believe that even in landscapes shaped by instinct, hearts still find ways to choose. Your next favorite dark paranormal romance isn't waiting in flawless fated mates. It's waiting in the brave, trembling choice to rewrite the story from within.